Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to be joining you all for my very first Ignite presentation. I'm actually really excited to do this remotely because I think we have such an opportunity to connect with so many people all over the world during Ignite. So welcome. If this is your first Ignite, welcome back. If you're a returning Ignite guest, hopefully you're in the right talk. It's a little more difficult online to be in the wrong room per se. But this talk is called Low Code, No Code, No Problem, a beginner's guide to Power Platform. I'm Chloe Condon. I'm a white woman with short neon orange hair with a vintage Microsoft logo sweatshirt on and red glasses. I am presenting with a green screen, and my Microsoft Teams background features my favorite Microsoft Office assistant, Clippy. But this talk is unfortunately not about Clippy. This is about the Power Platform. I'm Chloe Condon. I am a senior advocate, academic cloud advocate on the Next Generation Experiences team here at Microsoft. And I'm super excited to have you all joining us today to talk all about the Power Platform. Let us know in the chat what brings you here. Are you here because you have a large knowledge of code? You're a pro dev? Do you have absolutely no exposure to code whatsoever? Would love to know what brings you to this session. But let's dive right in, shall we? So here's a little sneak peek at our agenda. We are first going to be talking about Power Apps, doing a quick overview to familiarize folks with what the Power Platform is and how we can spin up simple and easy applications. Then we'll talk about how to connect our services to the Power Platform and dive into the various ways we can access our data easily and securely within the Microsoft ecosystem. And we'll close with a fun demo of Power Apps in action. No spoilers. There may be some very cute dog pictures, so definitely stay until the very end. You don't want to miss out on the cute, adorable puppies. Before we dive into things, just wanted to share this quick little short link, which is aka.ms/ignite power. And this will take you to this awesome free learn module that's an introduction to Microsoft Power Platform. It'll be covering a lot of the things that I'm talking about today. So if you want to dive deeper after this presentation, highly encourage you to check out this module. It's also part of our certification. So please make sure you check that out. But don't worry, I'll be sharing a bunch of links at the end of this presentation, so let's get started, shall we? So this is one of my favorite parts about working at Microsoft. Here at Microsoft, our mission is to empower every person and organization on the planet to achieve more. And I really think that we do achieve this quite a bit here at Microsoft. I'm super excited to be talking about the Power Platform today because I'm sure we have a wide variety of folks joining for this talk. And you likely noticed that the title for this session is Low Code, No Code, No Problem, a beginner's guide to Power Platform. And to me, the Power Platform is a tool that serves many different types of people in the world of tech. Not only does it enable folks with little to no coding knowledge to build powerful applications and tools to automate processes within their companies, but it also helps developers solve problems quickly and create solutions that help empower them to focus on innovation within their companies and solutions and tools that connect to their company's secure data and information within Microsoft 365. What used to take hours or even days can now be solved with just a couple minutes and an easy to use interface. And as developers, we constantly struggle between knowing we can build custom solutions from scratch, I know I'm guilty of that, and leveraging the tools that we have to just make our lives a lot easier. So in this talk, I hope I can shed some light on how the Power Platform can not only help non-coders achieve more, but also empower developers to achieve more by building easy, quick, custom solutions. So let's get started. So what is Power Apps? That's a great question. That's probably why you came to this talk. So Power Apps is a suite of apps, services, connectors, and data platform that provides users with an opportunity to build custom apps for their business needs that can be used on desktop, tablet, and mobile. Power Apps allow us to connect our data securely, automate tedious and manual business operations, and most importantly, they require little to no previous coding or IT knowledge. Now, if you're a developer like me, you can extend these solutions to help spin up quick and easy tools. But as a person with a non-traditional background, I started in the admin, recruiting, office management space. So I've lived in both worlds when it comes to leveraging these tools. And I'll be honest, I wish I knew about Power Platform when I worked as an office manager. Could have saved me a lot of time. So I just said a bunch of words, but for folks who are maybe newer to technology and the IT world, what does all this mean exactly? Well, first, when we build any business application, we need data. Data is the information that we display, fetch, or use in some way within our application. Now, this data can be anything from customer information, signed NDA forms that need to be uploaded to an internal database. Perhaps it's an item inventory if you're working in retail, or as we'll see in my demo shortly, even adorable dog photos. And Power Apps also allow us to automate tedious and manual business operations. As I mentioned, I'm a former office manager, recruiter, and an executive assistant in my previous life before tech, so I know firsthand the pain points of spending hours scanning files manually, entering data into an Excel spreadsheet, extracting that data from, contact info from business cards, or having to deal with sensitive customer data. Luckily, Power Apps not only help us create flows and processes to shorten and simplify these manual, tedious tasks, but it also keeps our data secure and safe, which is our number one priority here at Microsoft. But the coolest part of Power Apps is that it truly allows any person, regardless of their coding experience or their technical ability, to build applications that help their businesses run smoothly and efficiently. And with Power Apps, there's really no need to learn traditional programming languages like Python or JavaScript. You can just build an application, and it's as simple as using Excel-like functions. There's a point-and-click interface to design and create time-saving applications in an easy-to-use designing template. But Power Automate's more than just a single solution. It's part of a robust platform that includes Power Apps, Power BI, all working together seamlessly so your organization can not only automate for greater efficiency, but also harness data in more intelligent ways and create apps to help grow your business. The Microsoft Power Platform includes Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents. Power Platform is more than just the sum of its parts. You can connect all the products together and to Office 365, Dynamics 365, Azure, and hundreds of other apps. And the results in an end-to-end business solution. Together with Power Automate, anyone can create a low-code custom app and share and collect user data with Power Apps. And while Power Automate simplifies the creation of automated workflows and enables business logic to simplify app building, with Power BI, anyone can automatically refresh and surface business data and send automated alerts with Power Automate and act from those insights. And with our new Power Virtual Agents, teams can easily create and publish AI-driven chatbot experiences that automate processes and take actions with Power Automate. To understand how Power Apps work, let's zoom out a little bit and get an understanding of the Microsoft Power Platform. The Power Platform is comprised of 4 key products: Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, and Power Virtual Agents, my personal favorite. I love chatbots. So today I'll be focusing more on the Power Apps features as well as Power Automate, but let's do a quick overview here so you understand all the cool things you can do with the Power Platform. So first up is Power Apps. Now this provides rapid, low-code, no-code development to build custom solutions for business needs. People use apps in every area of their lives, and businesses should be no exception. Most of the out-of-the-box solutions do not meet exact business needs or integrate well with other business programs. But with Power Apps, users can create an app with a simple interface so that every business user or pro developer can build a custom app. Next up, we've got Power Automate. Now, Power Automate lets users create automated workflows between applications and services. It helps automate repetitive business process such as communication, data collection, and decision-making approvals. An example here would be you can create an item in a SharePoint list, send an email or a meeting request in Outlook, and then add a file to OneDrive. Power BI, another favorite of mine, since I love to display data, is a business analytics service that delivers insights for analyzing data. It can share those insights through data visualizations, which make up reports and dashboards to enable fast, informed decisions. Power Power BI scales across an organization, and it has built-in governance and security, allowing your business to focus on using data more than managing it. And then last but not least, Power Virtual Agents. Power Virtual Agents enable anyone to create powerful chatbots using a guided, no-code graphical interface without the need for data scientists or developers. I personally have created a bunch of Power Virtual Agents myself, and I have to say, being able to spin up a chatbot quickly and easily truly feels like witchcraft. If you've ever built a conversational chatbot from scratch, then you understand how much time it takes to create and develop an efficient solution and make sure that you have an answer to every question asked. The fact that I can build a chatbot in under 15 minutes still blows my mind years later, working at Microsoft 3 years now. There's also additional cross-cutting features which enable Microsoft Power Platform to be leveraged to its full potential. Some of these are AI Builder. An AI Builder lets users and developers add AI capability workflows and Power Apps that they create and use. AI Builder is a turnkey solution that allows you to easily add intelligence to your workflows and apps and predict the outcomes to help improve business performance without writing code. We're going to tackle a little bit of this in my demo today. Now, if you aren't familiar with Microsoft Dataverse, let's take a quick tour and see what's inside of this. So the Microsoft Dataverse is API first. Everything that you do in the Dataverse creates an API. These are the same APIs that are consumed by Power Apps, Power Automate, AI Builder, and Power BI. But these APIs can also be consumed via applications like Visual Studio Code or Xamarin, for example. Immediately below the API, we have a richer layer of security, ensuring that the right people can see the right data and auditing all the access along the way. From there, we get to our logic layer, where you can implement custom business logic. Because this logic is below the API, this ensures consistent business logic across all applications accessing your data. Then we get to the heart of the Dataverse. This is our data tier. This allows you to define the structure of your complex business data without writing any code whatsoever. And behind the scenes, we're putting your data in the right place using the optimal storage services provided by Azure. This allows us to seamlessly support practically any type of data, from relational data to log data to file data to search indexes to data stored in the Azure Data Lake. Finally, no deployment of Dataverse lives alone. It must be integrated with other systems. We provide many ways to integrate Dataverse with external systems, from events to webhooks to data export. But probably the most powerful part of the Power Platform is its connectors that enable you to connect apps, data, and devices in the cloud. Consider connectors the bridge across which information commands travel. There are more than 275 connectors for the Microsoft Power Platform, enabling all your data and actions to connect cohesively. Examples of popular connectors include Salesforce, Office 365, Twitter, Dropbox, Google Services, and more. And if for whatever reason there is not an existing connector that works for you, don't worry, we've got custom connectors. This allows you to extend your app by publicly calling any available API or a custom API that you're hosting in a cloud provider, such as Azure. For anybody who's maybe joining us who's low or no code experienced here, API stands for Application Programming Interface and holds a series of functions available for developers. Connectors work by sending information back and forth across these APIs and gathering available functions into Power Apps or Power Automate. And because these connectors are function-based, they'll call a specific function in the underlying service of the API and return the corresponding data. We'll be diving a little bit into this in my demo today. You can create custom connectors using 3 different approaches. You can use a blank custom connector. You can use an open API, or you can use a Postman collection. And if you're a pro dev, there are a bunch of existing connectors that you can use. Personally, as someone who works with the Twitter API quite often, I cannot begin to tell you the time I've saved using that particular custom connector while building my own Twitter bots. Now, here's a couple examples that I created based off my own previous experience as an admin and a recruiter. So first off, tracking and checking out office items. I used to work at a startup where we had a company library where people could physically go up to the library, check out a book, and return it at a specified time that we would set in an Excel spreadsheet. Now, typically, this is something that is done manually. If you've ever been to a library before, or you're as old as I am, we would stamp a card that would go inside your book. And really, we can automate that process and build an application to check and keep track of different items within our company inventory. Next up here, I have scanning and uploading forms. Oh my goodness, raise your hand in the chat. If you are a business admin, you've spent what feels like half of your life doing manual data entry. Well, this is great news for you because the Power Platform actually helps automate that. You can actually use the Power Platform to scan and upload things like business cards, NDA forms, any kind of onboarding information if you're an office manager, and really save you a lot of time in the process. So you're not only not running into as much human error, but you're saving a lot of time so you can work on bigger, more important things within your business. Next up here, I have create internal apps for interviewing and onboarding. As a former recruiter, I spent a lot of time helping with our internal onboarding services, and what better way to help your employees feel at home than creating custom apps to help guide them along that process. So any recruiters out there, maybe HR folks tuning into this talk, definitely take note. I think there's a lot of really cool opportunity to build apps with this, and definitely reach out to me on Twitter because I want to see all the awesome things that you build. And then last but not least, you can use AI to help make business decisions. Now, I don't know about you, but before I became an engineer, AI and machine learning were a little scary to me. I only knew about AI from the movie AI starring Haley Joel Osment. But for example, let's say that you have 500 applicants for a job. You're a recruiter and you don't really have the time to go through every single one of the resumes or cover letters that's been submitted to you. Well, with the Power Platform, you can actually use AI to highlight and call out specific keywords that are relevant to the role that you're hiring for. So truly, this puts artificial intelligence into the hands of people who maybe previously have never even learned a thing about artificial intelligence. Some pretty exciting, powerful stuff here. Okay, so now I need you to play pretend for a second. Let's imagine the following scenario. So we are going to walk through a little example of how all these pieces fit together using a awesome open source repo that I will share the link for called the Mutt Matcher. And our goal here is three different things. So I want you to imagine that you are a volunteer or a worker and you are working at a place where you need to identify dogs and understand the best way to appropriately take care of them. So our goal with this application is to do a couple things. We want to help workers and volunteers be able to quickly detect the breed of a dog. Now, I love dogs. I'm a big fan of dogs. I, of course, don't know all the breeds in the world, so an application like this, super, super useful. We also want our application to make decisions based on the best way to approach and care for the dog. So obviously, there are big dogs out there, there are small dogs out there. We want to know what medicinal doses to be giving them. Maybe we need a certain sized crate or carrier to transport the dogs, or a bigger or smaller collar or leash. And then thirdly, we want our businesses to use our business's existing data. In this case, we're going to be training a bunch of images of dogs, and we want to be able to use that data and leverage that data to be able to use it in the future. Now, if you are a pro dev or maybe you want to check this out a little bit later, highly recommend checking out this repo. You can look at it at aka.ms/muttmatcherignite. And this is an awesome walkthrough. Actually, I'll share it on my screen right here. An awesome repo that my coworker Jim Bennett made that has a Power Apps walkthrough of all the different ways that you can build this yourself. But we're getting ahead of ourselves here. I'm going to show you a little sneak peek of it. Okay, so step one. I know that machine learning and AI can be a little scary to folks who have never learned about it or played with it before, maybe trained a machine learning module, I should say. So precision, we have a couple different things in here that we're able to do. And I'm going to show you a little bit of that interface. So literally, Custom Vision is something that I'm accessing in my browser here. And I promise this isn't just an album of my dogs. Unfortunately, I do not have a dog to test this app with today. I asked my manager to expense a dog. He said no. But you can see I have a bunch of cute little dogs here. I learned what a buggle is by doing this lovely demo from my coworker Jim. This is a buggle. We've got a couple different breeds in here. We've got Australian Shepherds, German Wirehair, Shorkie, my personal favorite, this little guy here. And all of these images you'll see are tagged. Now I've gone in here, uploaded these images, and tagged each one for what specific dog breed this is. So now I have a lot of knowledge about what these dogs look like. So that is step one, is being able to tag our images. And I can see that all my images are tagged. I don't have any untagged here. And I have already gone through here and trained my data. So let's take a little look at my performance. Looking good, 100% all the way across. So you can see a couple different things here. Precision is going to indicate the fraction of identified classifications that were correct. So for example, if the model identified 100 images as dogs and 99 of them were actually dogs, then the precision would be 99%. How likely is that to be right? We also have recall here, and recall indicates the fraction of actual classifications that were correctly identified. So for example, if there were actually 100 images of apples and the model identified 80 as apples, then the recall would be 80%. And then finally, we've got AP, and AP stands for average precision, and that's a way to summarize the precision recall curve into a single value representing the average of all precisions. So with a very small amount of images, you can create a pretty accurate model. As you can see over here, we've got pretty much just about 8. We've got 9 for the Shorkie, probably because the Shorkie is my favorite. Sorry to the other dogs. But we're able to quickly test this as well. So I took the liberty of finding this cute Shorkie photo, which I will put in my tab right here. Here's a cute little dog, adorable. And I can actually go in here and do a quick test by entering this URL, and it's going to return the percentage. Great. So it says here that the probability of this being a Shorkie is very high. It's an 80.6%. Now this is a puppy, so I'm assuming I probably want to add this perhaps to my training data to get it, or add perhaps more images of puppies into my data set. But this is a pretty accurate model that we got here. And now that I've tested that, I am able to move ahead here, and I'm feeling good. I'm going to grab that prediction URL. I'm not going to show you that feature because I'm not going to let you steal my codes here, my auth tokens. But essentially what we would do is click on this prediction URL link here and take us to the next part of our application, which is building our no/low code backend. Same thing here. We've got a very easy to use interface within Office 365, and we're starting here with the Power App. And there's a couple things that we want to do. We want to classify an image. So this is basically taking an image that we're getting from our custom vision that we just set up here. This project ID is from my custom vision project over here. The published name is iteration 3. And if you don't believe me, there's that right there. And we've got to do a couple of things here. So for anybody who maybe doesn't have a development background here, the first thing that we want to do is sort of sort through all of this text, because when we're working with custom vision, it's returning us JSON, which is pretty much a fancy word if you're a non-technical person for a lot of information in text form. And you can see that we're returned a couple things here. We've got the probability, the tag ID, and the tag name. And for the sake of our application, we really only need what the actual breed of this dog is. So that's what we're doing on this final step down here, is we're saying, okay, and this is the most code you're going to write when you're doing this project, is we basically want to parse our JSON. That's this line of code right here. And we want to take the first tag name that's returned. And basically, if you remember that dog image that we were looking at just a second ago, when it had those percentages, we want to return the first one, the highest connection to that image. And then, last but not least, we build our low-code, no-code mobile app. I really love this because you can get really specific with how you want this application to work. Unfortunately, you can see me on the screen here. I don't have a dog, so we can't test this app out live on here. But I do want to show you kind of a couple cool things that I really, really like about this. So let's say that you want to change the button color, for example, to like match your company's colors. There's a lot of custom things that you can do within here. And of course, this dropdown is to select if I want the front-facing camera or the back-facing camera on my application. And within here, we're able to connect our data, we connect our custom vision, and we're able to connect that flow that we were working on earlier to be a button within our app. As you can see, Power Apps button right here. So pretty cool. And it's all in an interface. You can see in my presentation, I didn't touch any of the terminal, didn't really write any code except for that one little line about parsing JSON. So some pretty powerful stuff here, enabling folks who couldn't previously build with AI and ML to do so. Okay, so let's review real quick. We covered 3 different main things. We covered a lot of things in this presentation, but to make our adorable puppies come to life so we can detect their breeds, we used 3 pieces of the Power Platform. Custom Vision, which was training our AI ML model. We then connected it to Power Apps that was that flow that we saw, that kind of 3 or 4 step process there. And then last but not least, we put it into Power Automate to actually create an application out of this. And I'm sure all of you saw the exciting announcements happening with Power Platform that were in the keynote this morning. So some pretty cool stuff here. And you can do this too. You're absolutely empowered to achieve more with Power Apps, and I'll be sharing in a second some links to the Learn module where you can do this yourself today. But I'm so excited to see the amazing things that you build with the Power Platform. Please, please, please reach out on Twitter. Let me know what you end up building. I think there's a really amazing opportunity here, not only to enable folks who couldn't previously ever imagine or dream of creating applications to create some, but also for developers like myself to be able to spin up quick, easy solutions that truly save us a lot of time. All right, I've got some links for you. Then I've got a little bit of time for questions here. Please, please, please try this out yourself. Give us your feedback. Let us know how we can help you create and publish your first applications. The first one here is a free Learn module that you can access at aka.ms/ignitepower. And that's an introduction to Power Platform module that I mentioned a little bit earlier in this presentation. Totally free to walk through that. It's going to be a little bit of a review of what we covered at the beginning of this presentation, but gives you a little extra studying if you're trying to get certified there. And then, of course, the Mutt Matcher. Shout out to Jim Bennett, who made this amazing GitHub repo. This is an open source hackathon project that we often do with a lot of our students, and you can access that at aka.ms/muttmatcherignite. And this is not so much of a guide and guide you through each step process. It's a little bit of using your brain and doing it yourself. So please do not hesitate to reach out with any questions on how to build that. And last but not least, I have to plug something that I've been working on myself. You can go to aka.ms/ignitebeepboop. This is a series that I did with my coworker Ornella, where we focused on learning artificial intelligence and machine learning. And our second season, so our second half of episodes, is completely focused on low-code, no-code solutions with AI and ML using the Power Platform. So we do not write any code as we do any of that. It's a very cozy, safe, judgment-free zone that we used to live stream for folks who are newer to Power Platform. So we encourage you to be curious, learn, ask questions as you do this, because this is some really exciting stuff. And I am so excited to see what y'all build with it. So that is the end of my presentation. I am going to take a look here to see if we've got any questions. Alrighty, okay, we've got one here that says, Chloe, I'm looking for a solution that will improve the process of creating a report that currently uses Excel and a Word mail merge. There are many manual processes involved. Will anything like the Power Platform work for this objective? Oh my goodness, this is like a prime example of using that. Absolutely. I think with Power Automate, like creating a flow that just automates all that processes. I know personally for myself, I used to send myself emails and reminders because I just assumed that no one, as an office manager, you assume no one's going to reply to you. And I think now, like, oh, I could have just like created a flow that would completely automate that process for me, and I wouldn't have to keep reminding myself and other people. Ooh, we've got another one here. Chloe, can we build the same Power Apps using AI Builder without Power Automate. Not sure why we need Power Automate. Yeah, that is a great question. Let me go back to that slide real quick. So yes, the short answer to that is yes. Really what Power Automate is doing here is kind of like connecting all of the pieces together to put it into that app, right? So it depends on what you're building and what kind of flow you want to do. There's a lot of ways to use the Power Platform and use AI Builder really without using Power Automate. So absolutely. Let's see, we're right about at time now, y'all. So that is about enough for me. I'm so excited to see all the amazing things that you end up building with the Power Platform. I'm going to show my links on here real quick so y'all can check those out on your own time. But happy Power Platform, y'all. Have a great day.